Welcome to another edition of GW Unspoken, where we discuss stuff we don't typically talk about, but probably should. And we're here with episode 5, season 9, talking about gratitude. And, well, we're talking about gratitude and how it gets weaponized today. And that's right. We're talking about the darker side of gratitude, that side that's been slapped on t-shirts, motivational posters, and those cringe-inducing bumper stickers like good vibes only. Because sometimes gratitude actually can be harmful. So you ready for this one? This one's a little bit left field, so I'd love to have your opinion on this one. But this is a problem. We've all heard it. Just be grateful. It could be worse. At least you have a job. Be thankful you even have a family. We've talked about this in one of our first episodes. But on the surface, this statement seems well-meaning. But they're the emotional equivalent of slapping a Band-Aid on a broken arm. Here's the problem. When we use gratitude to dismiss someone's pain, shame their struggle, or silence their voice, it's no longer gratitude. It's actually emotional manipulation. There's a study from the University of Michigan that found people who felt pressure to be grateful during difficult times experienced actually more stress, more resentment, and actual emotional exhaustion. And why? Because this forced gratitude creates a distance or a disconnect between our external expression and our internal reality. And it's like being told, for example, like, hey, smile for a family photo when you're still mid-crying. And here's the brain science of it. This is why it's harmful. When you're struggling and someone tells you to just be grateful, that front part of your brain, the prefrontal cortex, that part that actually is responsible for rational thought and emotional regulation, it actually goes offline. And what happens is your amygdala, that brain's panic button, it lights up like a faulty smoke detector. And you go into that defensive mode. Your body thinks it's under attack and you feel dismissed, invalidated, and even alone. So gratitude, when real, can reduce cortisol and increase dopamine. But fake gratitude, it can actually spike your stress levels because it forces you to emotionally gaslight yourself. And that's full on, isn't it, when you think about it? If someone tells you to be grateful for something that's genuinely hurting you, your brain is forced to wrestle with that sort of cognitive dissonance. So you're thinking, am I overreacting? Should I just shut up and just be grateful? Are they right? And that internal conflict can eat away at your self-worth over time. And the problem is, here's where it gets controversial. Sometimes it's okay to be ungrateful. Sometimes it's okay to say, no, I'm not actually thankful for this. You don't have to be grateful for toxic relationships, unfair treatment, or jobs that just strain your soul. You don't have to be thankful for every challenge just because it made you stronger. You know what? Sometimes life's just a bit crap. And it's actually okay to admit it. And it's probably good to do that. There's another study in 2018 from an American Psychology Association that found that people who allow themselves to fully experience negative emotions without trying to immediately reframe them into something positive, they actually recovered faster from that trauma and stress. So here's a thought. If you're in a tough spot, so think about your own personal life now. And if you're in a tough spot and someone tells you to, hey, just be grateful, feel free to mentally hit them with a thanks but no thanks. All right? But here's a lighter one for you. If someone's Instagram bio says, hey, positive vibes only, or good vibes tribe, I think it's a good idea to approach that maybe with caution. These are the people who will cut you off in traffic and tell you, hey, just be grateful you didn't crash and you've got a car. Gratitude isn't just about ignoring the bad. It's about balancing the light and the dark. It's not a personality contest or a forced smile. It's a choice, a practice, an ongoing messy real life process. And you know what? It's actually tough to do. In a life skills class at the moment, we're doing that with our year 8s, teaching them how gratitude can actually help the emotional part of your brain and also then help switch on that actually smart part or the thinking part of your brain. It's very hard. It's very hard for people to sit still. There's a lot of boys, particularly full of testosterone, who just wants to run around and move. So try some different practices. Try it. But going back to you, how can we actually, participate in gratitude without becoming human doormats or emotional gaslighters? Here's a plan for you. Number one, and this is really important, which I don't think a lot of us do. Number one, just acknowledge that hard stuff. Before you reach for gratitude, actually name the pain. Just say, oi, this is hard. I am struggling. I'm not right now. I'm not okay today. Acknowledge it. Add it at the front of your brain. Don't try and dismiss it or put it at the back of your brain and deal with it later on. It'll just build up over time. And that's where you see people explode with outbursts. Number two, don't compare struggles. Just because someone else has it worse doesn't mean your pain isn't valid. gratefulness isn't a competition, it's a conversation. Everyone has different feelings about their emotional pain. And number 3, reject gratitude as a silencing tool. If someone tries to shut you down with, hey, just be grateful, again, hit them with a gentle but firm, oi, I can be grateful but still expect better. So here's 3 general prompts for the week. Again, I ask you to participate in this, write down. I know it's easy like goal setting just to think about it and go, no, I don't need to write down and get it. Most things that we write down and measures actually gets improved. So number 1, here's the first one. Where in my life, ask yourself, where in my life have I felt pressure to just be grateful when I actually need support or validation instead? So just name it. It might free it. Just write it down. There might be a few of them. Number 2, ask yourself, what am I genuinely grateful for in my life right now without any pressure or obligation to say it? What comes up naturally without force? What is it? And number 3, how can I practice gratitude this week in a way that's real, balanced, and not just for show? So maybe it's a silent thank you, maybe it's a journal entry, maybe it's just not complaining about the Wi-Fi for a day. What's one practice of gratitude you can do? It's real, balanced, and not just for show. So look, that's another episode for us in episode 5 here, and I really appreciate you joining in. And remember, gratefulness and gratitude is powerful, but it's not a weapon. It's not a shut or a shush button. It's not a tool for guilt. It's a practice. It's a choice. And sometimes a quiet whisper of thanks in a storm works for us. And if this episode hit home for you, please share it with someone who you know needs it. By God, a lot of people need it right now. It's a reminder that it's okay to feel all things, not just a grateful one. So thank you for joining us for another episode of GW Unspoken, and I look forward to your company in our next episode.